Boom. Hello, guys, and welcome. And let's go back to this scene. Look at this. I continue animating this, but didn't record it. But right now, I'm going to do it all over again because I wanted to show you the exact behind the scenes process of how is that I do 2D rig animation like a pro. Cool. So yeah, how is that we're going to work in all this kind of stuff? First of all, we're going to follow the rough path that we did on the previous video, which is this one over here. Let's take a look at this. If I press Command Y and I bring here a display node, I can change here the display node menu on the top corner, boop, and I can toggle between all the stuff that I have attached a display. And what is a display in Toon Boom? A display is a little shit that allows you to change your camera or just solo specific parts of your node view. In this case, only the rough pass. And this is going to be on display number 3. Look at that. Rawr, rawr. And now what I have to do is put the rig on top of that thing. So, Tuki, look at that. I start doing that on this dude. And yeah, I'm going to work on the other ones and then just go back to that one over there. Let's work on this one because I have energy right now. And energy, this is interesting. A friend of mine asked me before, Henry, how is that you're able to do like many stuff and prioritize some stuff? Like sometimes when I go to the gym and I do this or this or this, she was telling me at the end of the day I don't have energy to keep working on my animations. And it's like energy, it's not only like a battery that we have, like it just goes from 100% into 20%, but instead energy for me have flavors. And the energy that I have at the beginning of the day compared to the energy that I have at the end of the day have a different flavor. I still have energy because we're young and we have energy and all that kind of stuff, but the flavor is different. The flavor of the energy that I have at the beginning of the day when I am just starting to wake up is very sweet. It's like, I want to eat the world. I want to do crazy stuff. I can do whatever I want right now. But as the day goes by, sometimes I lose that flavor of the energy. I still have energy, but I lose that flavor. And when I have to approach an animation scene at night, for example, I'm approaching it with a more with an energy which is more passive. It's more relaxed. So I want to take advantage of or be aware of that flavor that my energy have and trying to use it accordingly with my most complex or difficult task in the morning. In this case, working directly on the technical stuff in my animations. Like this, for example, I have to animate and then I focus on this. At night, for example, if I need to be creative because I'm super relaxed at night, I can totally think about ideas, work on ideas, sketch ideas out in that way. I take full advantage of my energy, and that's a path of getting to know yourself too. So that's something that works for me really well. And what I'm doing right now is tracing with my rig what I did on my rough pass to keep. And as you can see, I delete all of these frames in the middle, and I'm just working on the key poses first. I'm always flipping because yeah, I have a rough pass that I did on the previous video, and I explained how to approach a rough pass in traditional animation and how to push your animation from just moving things from left to right like we are used to rig animation, but breaking those boundaries so we can push our characters animation. So here I just have to follow that rough pass. For example, the eye is around there, the hair will go a little bit down here because I am trying to turn the head towards camera. So I'm grabbing all of this stuff and moving this around. This is a very and why is that I am mentioned in this? In because here I have three characters, three heads of the dog. So imagine I'm starting with the most complex one, which is this one, because we're going to have some animation of the robot arm going like crazy, while the other one is just the other head. It will just open and close the mouth, and that's it. But this one over here needs more attention. So I want to use my sweet energy that I feel right now to make badass animation of these ones and on this one over here. And because I know the other ones doesn't require a lot of my energy, I can totally be chill on that one and almost work in an unconscious way, just moving the stuff around. On this one, yeah, I have to put some thought process, and I always leave room for improvement between my rough pass and my rig animation. So when I am approaching my rig animation on top of my rough pass, I am also thinking how is that I can improve that rough pass that I did there in terms of timing, making the timing be more punchy. So all of those things happen inside of my head. So welcome to my head, Tuki, Tuki, Tuki. There you go. I've been noticing that some of the videos about drawing that I've been sharing here on YouTube lately have been useful for people. So I'm going to be uploading more of those. But if you would like to see like a lot of those kind of videos, you can totally join my community for free. The links is on the bio because I upload all of those videos first over there, and then I upload them on YouTube if I want to, because I want to focus this channel mostly on this kind of stuff on my personal projects. But all the teachings and all the stuff that I do for free, I'm putting them on my community. It's like my other YouTube channel is my community, but I put a lot of theoretical and academic stuff about drawing and animation, and I want to leave that space like that. Tuki tuki tuki. There you go. And the funny thing is, like, I started by charging for that stuff. I put like a monthly thing in there, but then I just took it off. I'm like, screw this app, dude. I'm going to put this for free, so it's there for free. I'm not sure if someday I would like to make it paid, but if tomorrow I decide to dedicate my life to finding dinosaurs in the moon, I'll be happy to leave that thing open there for everyone to learn drawing for animation and animation. Because otherwise, like, we live right now in an information era. All the information is out there. Like, there's nothing that I am sharing there that you cannot find other places. But the difference is the way that I am explaining it through my own experience and my own way of seeing reality. Which for me, I've been talking a lot about reality and crazy stuff here in this channel while I work. If you listen to me while I work, I mention a lot of crazy stuff that feels so real, because at the end of the day, I feel like even though the information is almost the same, the way that everyone experiments reality is totally different from each other. So there's always something to grab and learn from everyone around us, because none experiences of life is the same. And I've noticed the way that I experience animation has been of help for many people. So I decided to translate everything that I have learned over the past years into these videos that I'm sharing with you guys. So hope you find this helpful, and let me know how you find this helpful. Let me know. Today in the morning, I was thinking about this short film, and I was like, at the beginning, or maybe on a trailer of this short film, I'll put like, from the creators of Dog Shot. Now the new movie, the three-headed mutant chihuahua. So it's going to be fun, and I'm already starting to work on the next one, because yeah, I cannot just work on one single piece at a time, especially because I'm trying to treat. At the beginning of this short film, my mindset was different as the one that I have right now. At the beginning of these short films, I was like, what if I can make one animation one short film every 2 months? And I'm like, totally doable, but I have to work this amount of hours every day. But I start just feeling this started to feel like work, and I hate work, and I like this to take advantage of. I would like these short films that I'm doing to take advantage of the most creative energy that I can have, and the only way to bring that creative energy out of me is by treating this as a piece of art, treating this as a creative project, not as work. So I'm just approaching this differently and trying to enjoy this process of making short films. Look at that, that's my other key. So I'm going to work on this frame over here. And before going there, I want to look for a frame over here to see if I have a head that I can reuse, I might be able to reuse that one. Let me look at again how this looks. Yeah, I can totally use this one over here. So I'm going to grab the master pick of this head, go inside of here, copy, and paste here. Tuki, look at that. And now I only have to move the pieces around. I've been doing some traditional animation to disconnect also from. It's important to explore different mediums, and if, for example, the only thing that you do, for example, is if it's animation, then try different ways of animating, try different animation mediums because everything translates into each other. And right now that I'm doing traditional animations for my Instagram, and yeah, if you would like to see them, follow me on Instagram. I'm doing really quick, super short clips on Instagram right now, and I'm doing those in traditional, but with a very limited animation style, and that helps me a lot. This is a surprising and amazing thing. Doing short clips using the characters that I'm creating here on YouTube on my for my short films allow me to allow me to also detach from the day-to-day rig animation thing that I'm doing here, but also even allow me to explore more the personalities of the characters. Because I have ideas right now. I'm working with my dog shot characters, but very soon I'm going to start using my Chihuahua characters on the short clips that I'm doing on Instagram. And the cool thing is that, for example, I was already testing an idea for which with one of the characters of the Chihuahuas, and I figured out this one over here, and I figured out this dude will look really badass with a piercing on the eye, and that's something that I will update on future animations of the Chihuahuas, because I found out of drawing a piercing on that dude that will look really badass. So here we have the upper part of the skull. Yeah, I'll have to move this manually, so Tuki. Oopsie. That look like lies. Bam. And I'm always blasting music in my ears when I'm working. And sometimes I listen to music, and while I listen to music, I'm trying to figure it out like fight sequences on my head, following the rhythm of the songs that I love. And that's an amazing way to come up with ideas too. So I'm going to move this eye over here. There's this meme that I've seen on Instagram of like when you when you forget your headphones or your whatever that you put there, when you forget your AirPods, your headphones, and then this song from Radiohead, Exit Music, starts sounding like it starts sounding, and the dude starts morphing into a very sad dude with anxiety, with a panic attack, because you have to listen to your own thoughts. That made me laugh a lot, but at the same time, it made me think like, when is the moment that I'm in more peace with my own head, with my own thoughts? And I realize the most beautiful space for my head to be is a space of daydreaming about creative ideas. And I don't know if that is the case for everyone. I don't know if that's the case for artists. Is that the most peaceful an abundant moment in my head is when I'm thinking about ideas. It's like if I'm in the shower and I want to be conscious about my thoughts. Sometimes it's difficult to just be laser focused on a specific stream of thoughts, but it becomes less effortless when I start thinking about creative ideas. Like for example, I start thinking like how this jelly monster will fight a this type of alien other stuff like this, and then my mind starts making this fight choreography, just coming up with crazy ideas that makes me feel that I have control over my mind, when sometimes it feels like it's even impossible to control your thoughts, because it's a space where my thoughts can just play around and be happy and be playful, be like feel like a kid. Otherwise, like if I'll be like, oh, you know what, I feel sad, I don't feel like I don't feel like my thoughts are helping me, I cannot control my head. when those things happen, the worst thing that I can do is trying to fight it and trying to think in a positive way, like with positive thoughts, like, yeah, Henry, you can do it, you're a champ, or whatever. It's like, no, dude, let's go to this happy space where this my imagination, where I can be like a kid and just think about stupid, crazy stuff that I love, jokes, funny scenes, and that's an amazing discovery. And I feel like that's the beautiful thing about everything that we're doing about living. I feel is to getting to know ourselves better as the time goes by, and that's something really beautiful that I found about myself. That's a beautiful discovery, and I feel that everyone can have those beautiful discoveries just by keep living. First of all, keep fighting for, not even keep fighting, keep living, keep dreaming, keep pursuing whatever you feel passionate about, because I feel passion is a door that opens up and reveals where is this beautiful space that your mind can live when sometimes you don't know how to control your thoughts. And for me, it's thinking about ideas, thinking about crazy scenarios that I would love to animate someday, or even even more crazy. Even more, yeah, I've been saying this a lot. Like, if I were to be doing something again, if I were to choose a career again from zero, I would love to choose a musician career. I would love to be like, I would love to have a rock band and bringing back that. I love these jokes that appears on Instagram. These divorce dad songs. I would love that. And dude, so lately this singer from Three Doors Down passed away, which is super sad. He have like cancer, and so, dude, I've seen his videos talking about just how is he living right now and what is he going through, and I'm like, dude, that dude leave some, how you call it in English, hymnos. This hymnos in Spanish is hymnos. When you have these songs that are super, 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 super classic. Well, at least the only ones that I know is Kryptonite and I'm here without you, baby. But dude, I can totally recall moments where I'm singing that song like crazy with my friends in the car. Those are masterpieces that he leave in this world, and it's super, super, super beautiful it's super beautiful. It's like, dude, you went away, you passed away, but you're living something huge in this world. You're living something huge. It's a piece of art, and yeah, not everyone will know those songs, but dude, you made something that made people cry. You made something that made people sing all out loud with your friends, with your friends in a car, like in my case, dude. It's like you leave a piece of art in this world. Man, that crazy stuff, dude. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. Lately, I've been contacted by clients and stuff like that for work opportunities, and sincerely, I'm saying no to most of those opportunities because I feel like I have to do something more. I have to do my own songs, like this dude from Three Doors Down, dude, leave something beautiful in this world. And I don't know if he made those songs for himself or for other people, but the fact that he made something really beautiful, that really inspires me. That is something that inspires me a lot. And I don't feel I can do something meaningful or something unique for me by working on other people's projects. But yeah, there's clients that I love to work with because just as human beings, they are amazing and we vibe together amazingly. But some other times I just refuse to some projects because I just want to focus all my energy on my own projects. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes I'm going to polish that hair later because I'm going to do a traditional rough patch for that hair. How long is this? 19 minutes, but it's having a good talk. It has been a good talk. I recorded a video for this. To be honest, I recorded a video for this while I was in the meeting, and I just did that little piece of animation. But during the video, I was just talking about this kind of stuff. But I didn't upload it because I didn't find it was going to be useful for anyone. But I am less caring about. I am just going to share stuff because there's animation is not everything. And when I detach from animation in my life, when I detach myself from the identity of being an animator only, is when I have my best ideas or when I have my best pieces of art or when I feel more connected with life than when I'm just thinking about animation. So I'll not be surprised if someday I just record a video, an animated video like this, and I just keep talking about life. I think yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Crazy cool stuff. Okay, I need to create an inner mouth here. So I'm going inside of the mouth layer and I'm going to create here an inner mouth layer. So I'm going to press Command R to call a new layer here. I'm going to bring this inner mouth. And this is the amazing thing about working with rigs. If you know how to rig and you know how to animate, you're a monster superstar. Why? Because because you can create, add stuff, delete stuff, do a lot of crazy stuff. Backdrop. And then we're going to put here inner mouth. And I like to create these backdrops to just differentiate all of these pieces. I'm going to connect this with a mouth master peg. And this is what I'm going to do. I don't care about this piece too much. So I'm going to draw it even with my with the brush tool, and I'm going to add some deformers in the brush tool and hope this will not get destroyed. I'm not here. This isn't happening. Ooh. Here we have the mouth color. If you want to follow along with the same song that I'm listening here, I'm listening to How to Disappear Completely by Radiohead. Amazing song. I'm not here. I'm going to put a deformer here in the middle because I want to have more control on this part, just in case I have to squash and stretch it and do crazy stuff. But I don't know. I just put it there and see what happens. Cool. Bam. Cool. So you see how easy I'm using these display nodes to move things, to isolate things and to just see one specific part here and there. Cool. So for example, here, the mouth is open, and because I add some deformers, I can grab this and move around. Beautifulness. Oh, I need a tongue. Do I have a tongue here? Nope. Let's create a tongue. So, another composite around here. Tongue. Boop. Peg. And then we go here, Tuki. And then we create a tongue. Now, how is that I'm going to do this? Look at this. Something like that. Color in black. The fill color will be something like a lighter red color like this. Transfer line properties to color art. Then let's put the pivot point around here. Wiki. Now display node, attach, isolate, add a random deformer, So you have some opportunity to do crazy stuff here. Change this from drawing peg to parented peg, because in that way, when we move the piece, the deformers will not leave, will not just fall over there or just get lost. Cool. And then let's expand this thing over here to key. Cool. So we have the main poses there. Let's go back here to this main peg. Awesome. We have this one over here. Tuki, tuki, tuki. Tuki. Watching you. What the heck? Stay there, dude. Back, 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 back. And now. Boom. I'm always flipping. Look at that. Even if I'm doing rig animation, I'm always flipping. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, next frame will be this one over here. Beautiful frame to work on. Oopsie. If I press shift and delete, I get rid of those scene markers that I have there. Bam! Bam! And then we have the head going all the way like this. You know what? I can reuse the head from here. Yep. Or this one over here. I can reuse this head here. And then the only thing that I can do is be yourself. That's a Chris Cornell reference. Tuku tuku tuku. And then I can make this bigger. Taka. And move this towards the front. And then rotate. And then grab this one over here. And move it around here. Tuki. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And I'm going to polish all of this stuff on the off the arm later. For now, I can just I'm doing a basic blocking of all of these parts, and that's my animation process. I do a blocking pass, and then I do a tie down pass where I design my keep all my poses. So I take care of the polish of all of these poses, and then I polish the rig on top of that tie down pass that I do. Tuki, tuki. Also, I wrote a very kind message from someone saying how this person likes the way that I explain some theory on a drawing video, and that made me think how useful is to in some way share knowledge with others in a very informal, non-academic way, because we are used to communicating in that way with other people in an informal way, in an informal way with our friends, with everyone. So that's why I like to share a lot of my videos, or just use dumb reference or goofy reference that helps understand some stuff, because that's the way that we communicate. That's the way that we communicate. I don't like to be so sophisticated in the way of sharing knowledge, and I want to be as simple as possible, because that's the only way to communicate effectively. It's like, what do you mean about this stuff? And I just call it like whatever I have to call it. It's fun, and it makes even the process of learning and sharing knowledge funnier too. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Pam, 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 pam. Boom. Tuki. See how I'm approaching working first on all my key poses, trying to make everything feel that is connecting in a very smooth way. Tuki. Awesome. This could go a little bit here. And then to have some variation between this frame and the other one, here's where I can do some adjustments and move this stuff around. Tuki tuki. Tuki. Boom. Moving. Grabbing this and stretching and adjusting. Tuki. Beautiful. Awesome. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Close your eyes and think of someone you physically admire. Guess you. Look at how I'm trying to design this negative space. Look at here. Tuki, tuki, tuki. This shape here between the arm and the hair. That's the beautiful thing. Designing all of this stuff. And then I can flip, 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 flip. Look at how everything is working beautifully. And because I'm having a rough pass behind, I know exactly what I want to achieve in this animation. Book. Now we go to this frame over here. Taka. Some stuff that I like to do is mark this, click on this thing, because this will make like a wall in all of the drawing layers. So if I do some changes here of the drawings, this will not be replaced here. I hope that made sense. Maybe for the people that already know how to use Tubo, that made sense. But close your eyes. Bam. And here the nose. I can make the nose a little bit something like this. And reduce this gap. I might be able to just jump all the title and design pass on this one if I'm doing a good job on the posing without destroying this too much. So hopefully, let's see, because otherwise this will take a lot. And this, I've been thinking like, how is that I was able to animate one scene every day per day when I was working on dog shit, and this is taking fucking a lot of time. And is that this character have three heads, so it's like animating three characters when I'm animating one. So it's taking double of time, triple of time than when I was animating dog shit. Because in dog shit, I only the main animation was about two characters, so it's taking a lot of f time. I'm gladly doing traditional rig animation on this. Otherwise, this will take a lot of time to finish. And someone joined the community lately, the one that I mentioned before, and this person says something really true because we have like a presentation, we have like a story type of chat where we share our stories, and this person says something like, "These are the two parts of the timeline that I enjoy. The timeline, the animation pipeline that I enjoy the most, and were graphic design, character design, and I don't remember the other one, but it was something related to character design, maybe storyboarding or world building, world building. And I was like, that's so true. That's so fucking true. For me, that's where I have the most fun. This technical, for me, animation is a very technical task at some moments. The rough pass, I feel, is the most creative part of the animation process where we disconnect our analytical part of our brain and we just use our creative head. Well, if you already have some confidence with drawing animation, then the rough pass becomes that creative moment where we can explore and do crazy stuff. So that's I think like developing skills is not something that will only help you to unlock job opportunities, but also will help you to unlock the joy of experiencing the animation process. And as you get better with your drawing skills, you'll be able to enjoy the rough pass of an animation. You will be able to enjoy designing poses for your animation, and that's the most frustrating part of the learning process at the beginning. It's not necessarily it's not necessarily that our work looks doesn't look professional, but it's the frustration of not being able to communicate. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing is art, and art is a communication form, and we're trying to communicate. And imagine you cannot talk. Imagine you cannot communicate. You cannot say your words. Imagine the desperation that you will feel like being like, oh shoot, I wish to say this, but I don't know how to say it. I cannot say it. People don't understand me. Imagine the frustration of not being able to understand your own thoughts. Imagine having thoughts. Imagine seeing symbols here in your head and not being able to bring those symbols that are images to life. And that's for me the biggest frustration that happened when we are just starting to learn animation, because it's like a kid that wants to communicate something but can't. And then all these other type of social pressures appears, like, yeah, you have to have a job, you have to show your parents and your family that you can do a living with this. All of those social pressures, all this social pressure is something that also doesn't help at the beginning. So yeah, I totally understand that it's a very tough path, the artistic path. So in some way, people have to have balls or be courageous in pursuing this career. It's being like, you know what, I'm going to just do it. So there's a lot of mental fights that exist within this path of animating, and it's not for everyone. Not because they can't achieve a certain level, because sometimes it's hard to deal with all the mental limitations that could appear on our head. That's where we have to train our more than train. We have to get to know ourselves better. And for me, it's art as a form of creation, as a passion, as a profession, as a career choice. It's going to put you in weird, uncomfortable scenarios where you only have one option, which is to get to know yourself. Otherwise, there's no way to succeed in this, because the mental game that plays this art form is tough. It's tough. And I read this no not long ago. I think it was on a LinkedIn post or something that someone said animation meant to be difficult, and I'm like, that's totally fucking true. That's totally true. That's totally true. So embracing that reality helps a lot, because that unlocks a level of respect that deserve our profession. It's like it's like doing surgery. It's like being a doctor. Would you put your life in the hands of someone that is just procrastinating, or that is just chilling with their passion, just practicing here and there, just a little bit and a little bit over here and a little bit over there? Or would you put your life, or would you trust your life to someone that is actually studying, knows every part of the human being, how to construct and deconstruct humans, so they can, they can, I don't know, cure you or whatever. So that's the main thing. It's like, why, if the doctors put the time, the effort in the study to be able to have the confidence to have someone else's life on their hands, and help them, why is that we don't treat our career with the same amount of respect and the same amount of effort that a doctor will put on their career? And that reality check is something that helps a lot. You know what? Okay, cool. If this requires an effort, what is going to be my, which are going to be my routine? What is the things that I'm going to be doing on daily basis, so I can guarantee a successful delivery to studios, to clients that hire me for my services. So that's a professional advice there. And after that, everything becomes more fun. Everything becomes more fun. At the beginning, everything is hard, but then it turns into a creative experience. It turns into a creative experience, which once you save enough money to decide to don't work for 1 year if you want, you can totally you can totally put all the effort now in working on your own films and your own personal projects. Boom, boom. For example, here, this color here, this color is changing shapes too much between one frame and the other. So in order to keep this subtle, I can just copy and paste the same color from here to here, and then poop, we jump there, so it's chill here. Awesome. Okay, okay, okay. Concentrate. I totally get lost in this, and then we go back there, and then this is the other key, two key. Get rid of this, and then we go and select this frame over here, paste it here, so we have some changes on all the lines and shapes, so it feels like it's doing that with the arm. So yeah, dude, as a conclusion of what I was saying, if doctors put that amount of effort and responsibility on their daily practice, on their studies, in order to have the confidence to have their life of someone else on their hands, and be able to help these people, dude, same thing with us. If we want to be respected as artists, if we want to respect ourselves as professionals, what is the amount of effort that we have to put on our daily practice in our daily life in order to become that ideal artist that we want to become? And it doesn't have to be like a hustle. It doesn't have to be like a, it doesn't have to be like a burden or like a weight on your shoulders. It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to love it if you choose this path. And this is the question that is tricky for some people. Do you love animation, or do you love the idea of being an animator? Because the idea of being an animator is fairy tales, like, yeah, it's super cool, it doesn't feel like work, you can just go to work and work on amazing shows that you love, and have your name on the credits. That's fantastic, cool, chill. But there are some other realities too. The amount of payment that the studios pay, how much you can make by your own, which will influence not only your artistic skills, but how you're able to move around this video game of life. Taka 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 taka. That's why sometimes in my family is like, oh, this familiar wants to become an animator like you, Henry, and I'm like, cool, cool. And then it's like, yeah, they want to have fun. No, 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 no. It's not that easy. It's like you have to be. There's some toughness needed in these in an artistic career, because you'll have to handle a lot of closed doors that close in front of you, and at the same time For each door that is closed, you have to put the double to find more opportunities, not only inside the industry but outside the industry, because we have to never forget that we are also service providers. It's like developing an artistic skill is a superpower. Now you have to figure out how is that you're going to monetize that superpower, how is that you can reach out to clients, and how is that you can guarantee a successful delivery to these clients. Like your superpower is not only to serve studios or to serve certain companies. You have a superpower that you can monetize in different forms, and it's important to be with open eyes and to be with the feet on the ground, to be like, okay, how can I make this work? How can I make a living with this? How can I make money? And I remember when I was studying, when I was a graphic designer and I wanted to be an animator, the first thing that I googled was, how can I make money online as an animator? Boop, and then everything starts there. But the curiosity, there's some bullshit out there, like in Spanish, it's like la curiosidad mató al gato. The curiosity killed the cat. I don't know who the heck invented that shit, or what the hell does it mean? But dude, you need a curiosity. Out of curiosity, there's the potential of just living like an NPC, knowing, thinking like you don't have control over anything, but you have more control than you think you have. And it's very important to be curious and to start thinking about, to start looking for answers, to start looking for a new reality, because sometimes the reality that we live is unbearable. It's like, no way that I will live this reality. And that is what I was thinking when I was first starting in all of this. It's like, no way that I'm going to work on a 9 to 5 job, dude. I don't want to be told when I have to eat, when I want to go to vacations. I want to travel the world. I want to go and do crazy stuff. It's like, if I want to go to a party on a Thursday and tomorrow Friday I have to work, it's like, fucking shit, dude. I want to go to the party anyways. There you go, Tuki, 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 Tuki. So that's personal. That's personal to me. That's personal to me. I don't. I don't see myself. Sometimes, sometimes we feel trapped in this type of work scenarios where other people don't, and it's totally respectable. And sometimes we this is something that I discovered, and is that there's not, like, the way that I live, there's not all something like it's just roses and stuff like that, because I escaped from one type of jail to create my own type of jail, because now that I don't have for example, a lunch hour, a lunch time, sometimes I forgot to lunch because I'm working or because I'm doing other crazy stuff. And is that we put another one, which is now our full responsibility. We have to be accountable of that. And it's like, dude, yeah, it was something interesting that I wrote down, and it was like, I escaped from one jail of working of working a 9 to 5 to being trapped of a new jail that I put on myself. And the difference is that on this one right now, on this one right now, the difference is that on this one right now, I don't even lunch, because I don't even give myself a time for that. And it was an interesting realization, because now I was part of a new trap where I put myself on that same trap. So it's also to be accountable and to be able to be aware of all those things that, that we don't like to put a light on, because we prefer to just keep it on the dark. But it's important too. And as I mentioned, I'm not saying this looks like I'm in a trap. No, that was a realization for me, to get to know myself better, and being like, okay, okay, Henry, even though you're having your own way of earning money, that doesn't mean that you have to just let down other parts of your life that are also important, like eating, like all of this type of stuff. And yeah, everything that we do is a path of self-realization. It is important to be aware of those things, otherwise we'll become victims of our own thoughts, and I'll be like, no way, I got trapped in my own trap, and I'm the victim of this thing, that I am trapped on my own work that I cannot eat. No, dude, You realize that it's like, oh shit, you know what? This thing is happening and it's not working for me. Time to change. Time to do some changes. And sometimes it's not easy to do those changes, but that's the path of getting to know ourselves. That's the path of getting to know ourselves. Tuki tuki tuki. There you go. How long is this taking? 15 minutes to create this posing. But as you will see, the posing is most of the animation, so things will go a little bit faster. So for example, this is a loop. Here, extreme, extreme. Boom, boom. Awesome. Bam, 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 bam. So here, to avoid just making a symmetrical movement, I can create some asymmetry, even moving this character up and down. For example, here it's going down, up, back and down, or this way a little bit towards the center, tack, tack. Cool. And now we have that animation. Let me turn off the rough pass just to observe, to look at the animation, the rig animation. Cool. Time to animate. Here, for example, I'm seeing this line getting too much towards the inside, so that's something that I want to avoid. So I'm moving this towards the front. And boom, tan, 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 and boom, tan, 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 tan. What the heck is this line doing here? Let's get rid of this line for a sec. Awesome. Now this leg have to close a gap that is bothering here. Well, look at that. For example, here. Oh yeah, it's in between all of that stuff. Cool, no worries. Chill. I'll fix that later. Cool. Let's animate this head. Let's animate that head. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm going to animate this one and then go to the other one and then connect all the movements. And this is not an organized approach workflow because on the rough pass I establish all the timing, which I have a lot of desynchronization. So I'm right now. Normally I key everything and then I work on the betweens. But here all the heads have different timing and it's going all over the place. So I'm going to animate one head separately. I finish one head animation and go to the other one. Finish that head animation, go to the other one. Finish that head animation, go to the other one. And then I start going frame by frame on master peg and then looking at each frame and troubleshooting and polishing and doing all the changes that I need to do. Does it make sense? Such a mind bends my arm long. Somebody told me Californication holiday. Let's see what we're going to hear right now. Bam, 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 bam. Cool, let's go. Time to animate. Let's bring back this rough pass. Now here we have a slow out. So here we go from here to here. This is a slow out from this. So this is the key pose. Let me show you something. And this is the way that I think for animation. Welcome to the start of this animation tutorial. This is the way that I think in a very systematic way about animation. And as soon as I understand this, I break all of these rules to have freedom. I don't think about this too much, but this is something that I would love someone to tell me. And is that for every change of direction, we need a slow in and a slow out. So if we're going to change direction from here to here, we need a slow in, we need a slow in here, and we need a slow out here. For every change of direction, we need a slow in and a slow out. That's a rule. This is the change of direction rule. So if we know this, if we have a key here and we have another key here, now if we were traditional animators, we have to think how many frames do we need from here to here, and people will say like maybe one in between and an overshoot. It's like, what the heck are you talking about? No, dude. If we know that this is going to change direction from here to here, I know that here I will need a slow out, and here I will need a slow in. And what will I have here in the middle? An in between. Cool. Now let's imagine we have this scenario here. We have this timeline, and we have a keyframe here. We have a breakdown here. We have a key here. And then same thing, we have a change of direction here. We have a change of direction. So between these two and these two, I'll need a slow out, in between, a slow in, from here to here, a slow out, in between, a slow in, which this is going to look something like this. Key, breakdown, key, breakdown, or key, breakdown, whatever you like to say. It's just change of movement. From here to here, we need a slow out. Imagine it's jumping, the ball is jumping here. It's like we need a slow out, we need a slow in, we have the breakdown here, we need a slow out, we need an in between, and we need a slow in here. This is, as a result, is going to give you a very even animation, very even animation type of Rick and Morty style, very even timing. But as you get better and confident with animation, you will be able to say, you know what, I don't need this one, 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 this one, this one, this one, and this one, for example. And you already think about this like an equation, like a formula, and you just get rid of frames that you don't need, and then you start animating freely with all of this formula. But at the beginning, it's very important to be aware that for every change of direction, we need a slow in and a slow out. And in between a slow in and a slow out, of course, sometimes we need an in between. And when the animation of the timing is very push, we don't we can jump from a slow out to slow in to the next key, or even to the slow from the slow out to the key. But it helps to think about animation in this way. So for example, here I need a slow out. That's something that I cannot miss. In from here to here, this is the key. Here a slow in here, and then book from here to here. This is the slow out. This is a slow out. So look at that. I'm going to enable this set is for multiple parameters, and the rating ratio is telling me like, hey Henry, what you want? Are a slow out or a slow in? And I'm like, you know what? I want a slow out, so I'm going to put a 44 here. And the bigger the number, the bigger the amount of a slow in or a slow out that I'm applying here. Left on ratio is telling me, Henry, how much of a slow in do you want here? I want a 44. Apply. Cool. So we have some even time in here. And then I cut this on twos, tuk, 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 tuk. I press T, which is part of my shortcut. And then here manually, I can start moving things. For example, I want to copy the same ears from here to here because the twinning was making my ears shrink, was shrinking my ears, or the ears of this duck, not my ears. Poke, 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 poke. And then we can drag this like that. Pum, 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 dragging to the place that it comes from. One of the rules of dragging is that when we drag pieces of our character, we're pointing them towards the place that they are coming from. That's the secret, and this is what is going to give us very smooth animation. So take that into consideration, and it's going to make your shapes flow smoothly between each other very beautifully. Cool. So here we have a slow in from that frame to the other. Let's open this master pack of this head. Taka, 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 taka. Here the arm is doing crazy stuff. So the thing that I do is copy and paste the same arm here, and moving this up. For example, here I can copy this arm here to here. Tuki, 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 tuki. And I'm going to put more attention on the arm later, but for now, someone's texting me, but I cannot see it. So we have something like this. What time is it? 2:11. Cool. Tung, tung, tung. And then here, in order to create an arc, so it doesn't move just up and down, I can move this character a little bit towards the side, towards the front. Tuki, tuki, a little bit more towards the front and up. And then we have the slow out here, the slow in, tuki tuki. So let's see, vroom, vroom, tuku 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 tuku. And because I spend the time to work on my key poses, I know that the rest is going to work smoothly. I'm seeing here some spacing issues. Look at how this line is jumping around. So are you either moving back, down, or up? But not down, up, down, up, down, up. Boom, beautiful. Boom, 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 boom. The choker is squashing there. Tuk, tuk, tuk. Here the ears are shrinking. So what I like to do is reuse the poses I already polished in my key poses and drag there. Boom. Beautiful. That will work well like that. Maybe I can do something like this. When the city sleeps, I'll walk my shadows. Boom. Beautiful. Nice rotation. Doesn't it's not noticeable. And then here we go towards this frame over here. Tuki. And then we go up. Now look at that. Look at how I'm jumping over there. But I feel I need oh no, this is the slow out. So cool. This is a slow out here. So boom, I can jump there. And imagine this frame over here is a slow in. And then after the slow in, I have some settle. So in the formula, I am adding the following. On this formula, I am adding the following. I am adding right now. What I'm doing right now is the following: keyframe slowing, fuck between the slow out, a slow in, and then from this slowing towards the key, I am adding the beautiful settles. So we're having settles. And when I think about settles, I think about this image that I love a lot. Let me figure out if I can find it and copy and paste it here. Uh, chicken. Chicken you, yeah. This is the image that comes to my mind every time that I'm thinking about settles. And you will say like, what? Yes, this is the image that I'm thinking every time that I think about settles. This is a description of a settle. Why? Because the settles are supposed to be chill, dude. They're supposed to be chill. So this is the settle. Chill. So I'm jumping from this key to a slow to from a slow out, then directly to the slow in from to this frame, and in between the slow in and the key here, I am certainly I'm adding settles here. Two key, two key, and how many? The amount that I have a space to add here. Settle, and this is the settle. It's super, 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 super chill. Cool. So let's go here back to this animation. So we have a slow out keyframe, no, a slow out, a slow in keyframe, a slow out, boom, we jump. But on the jump, I want to cushion into this one. I want to slow in on this one. So I'm going to select on top, hover over here, click here, and Toon is going to ask me, Henry, how much do you want to slow in this frame over here? And I'm going to be like, Toon, I want it to be as close as possible. So give me an 88. So this will mean that all these frames over here will be super close to the final frame over here. And I am like, you know what? I want something over. Give me a 99, dude. Give me 99. Yeah, and now I want something between these two. So now I'm going to put 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and it's like now I want something in the middle between this. Something around here. Cool. So we have key, a slow out, boom, a slow in, and then between these two is going to be a settle. So it's going to be like bam, and biting the arm. Tuk tuk tuk. Now, Henry, but there's some weird stuff happening on the mouth. Yeah, dude, the only thing that I have to do is change this mouth from here to there. Or I can copy and paste the same head, the same mouth from here to here, but it will keep the same position animation that I have between these two frames. Look at that. Cool. It's my life. Boom, 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 boom. And here I can do some manual stuff like I can move this a little bit down if I want. Boom, boom, boom. So we'll leave a little bit of a gap. Boom. And now this choker, I will just copy, paste this one from here to here, and rotate it a little bit this way so we have some rotation between these two frames. Beautiful. I am gonna live forever. Bam. So we have these two. Bam, 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 bam. And the hair, of course, I'm going to animate the hair later. Tuki, tuki, tuki. And here, I can even close the mouth a little bit to have some more animation on this. So it's like something is going in one speed and the mouth is going another speed. The head is like this. This is the mouse. The head is moving like this, but the mouth is going to be doing like this. Look at that. So that's a desynchronization that I am adding here manually. Bam. And here, this tongue. On the floor, don't you shy away. Shy away. 'Cause I love you. Ooh, ooh. Some recommendation for right now, Shy Away, 21 Pilot. But the version that is like a type of presentation where they are covered in surrounded by snow. The scream that dude makes it in that video is fucking crazy. I love those screams. Come on. And I'm dragging the hair here. Designing beautiful shapes. This is a beautiful thing about doing rough pass that I can just experiment around the rough pass and I'll not be totally lost because I know what result to expect. Share your modesty. Cool. We have bam, 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 bam. Okay, the teeth. No, this was the original version. I want to listen to the other one. Sorry. Shy away. Live stream version. That's the one. Dang, dang. Here I can add more drag. Fall. On the floor, don't you shy away. Bam, bam. Cool. Cool, awesome. Let's continue with animation here. So we have a slow in, and then settle to that other frame there. Now the teeth have to fix here also, so it in between's better a bit up. Cool. Oopsie. Bam, 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 down. Connect the flow between these two lines. Okay, time to settle there. Suku tuku tuku. So I'm going to grab here, add a 44, and from here to here, nothing. So we're settling there. Then I cut all of these on twos. And as a result, we have something like this. Look at that. Ram, bam. Ram, bam. And now here in the middle, I can add, let me look at how the render view looks here. Yeah, absolutely destroyed. I'm going to move some stuff here. Cool, soft. What is that shit doing there? Is that the head? Is that this part? Yeah, it's this part. Like a song hero. No, 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 yes. A little bit towards the inside. Cool. No, yes. There you go. Cool, clean. So now I'll go frame by frame cleaning that stuff. Cool. What the heck is happening here? Beautiful. And the best way will be to take care of this in each individual pose before tuning, but I don't want to. To be honest, I don't like to clean this stuff. It's like I hope some moment these deformers become even more flexible, then we can do whatever we want to do with this without being destroyed. So we don't have to do the polish pass. But let's see how technology progresses over time. Henry, have you ever tried Maha? Never in my life. I might have to someday, maybe. What the heck is this line over here? What the heck I'm listening to? That's the only song that I know about 21 Pilots. Don't put me more. Let's go dark. Let's go dark. Let's go blind. Lifehouse. Another recommended song, guys. Imagine if I changed this YouTube channel from being animation oriented into rock oriented. Bam, fix. Boom, boom. Massive Buddha to destroy here. Tangent, 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 double tangent. Oh, let's keep it there. Never want to be here in my life for you. It's bam, bam. So for example, here I can add some drag on the ears so the movement doesn't look too mechanic. But we have some different timing on each part of these ears. I like to do this frame by frame, but I'm going to do it with the rigs right now because I don't want to spend too much time. Yeah. Vroom, 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 vroom. Look at that here also. Let's drag that. Bam, bam, bam. Look at that. Zzz, boom, zzz, boom, zzz. Here we need. Let's follow the rough pass. A slow in, boom, and then we jump into an in between, and boom, we jump directly into the key, and then overshoot the key, and then we go. This is another formula we're going to share with you in a moment what we're going to do there. This is a perfect example of a fucking animation. Cool. Boom, boom. Now I love you more. Let me see who the heck wrote me. Oye, guapo, me escriben, ¿quieres ir a comprar ahora? Give me. I'm recording a YouTube video. Don't stop the recording, don't stop the recording. Estoy grabando. Ah, see? Cool, 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 cool. I'm supposed to do grocery shopping with a friend right now, but. Vale, cool. No! Cool, 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 cool. So let's go. Tac, 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 tac. Bam, 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 bam. What are we having here? Come on, 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 come on. What are we having here? Tac, tac. Tac, 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 tac. So what we are going to have here is like a slow in. So I'm going to tell Toon Boom, hey, a slow in, this is like crazy. Boo, slow in, this is like crazy. Tuk, 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 tuk. And then here we're biting this. Even more. 19, 100, dude. The 1000, dude. Good, good. Un amigo fue a verme esa, pero no es que estoy temprano. Cool, let's go. Full concentration here now. I had to troubleshoot some stuff. Boom. So tuk tuk tuk. That's something interesting that I did here as a mistake. I keep moving the head up. I kept moving the head up. What I can do here is something interesting. I can grab all of this and drag and delay and open. So it's like. And then here I can follow that flow of the head there. I can open this more. Cool. Let's see how that works. Bam. Nice. And that's something that is not in the rough bus, but that's something that I'm going to add. And now if I did that movement, I have to connect everything to that thing that I did there. So I have to make this make sense in some way. Cool. I'm going to watch the Super Bowl with some friends, and everyone is like, let's go! And I'm like, I'm recording a YouTube video. Wait me 30 more minutes. So I might not be able to go to do grocery shopping. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Look at that. So I'm trying to design the pose on that frame. I'm trying to design the pose on that frame. I'm looking at the spacing too. Boom. Drag, drag. Stretch, drag. And then I connect all of this like that. And boom. Awesome. The apex is here, here, cool. Here we can drag this way. Front, not too much towards the front. This one, front, front, front. Okay, this can just go down because we're going to connect the flow of the head with the hair. So I could draw a bit down there. There you go. And then here, continue towards the inside. And this part here have to hide in some way. No. Yes. Cool. So let's in between all of this here. Boom. Boom. And that drag is adding that punchiness there on the bite. Boom. Boom. And from here to here, before twinning, let me check that all of this is working well on the render view. Yes. So here in the middle, need to connect this better. Beautiful. So twin, 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 twin. So we have this. I'm going to fix that choker that is moving crazy like later. And then from here to here, what is the rough pass telling me? And in between here, oof, almost there. It's there. Cool. Twin. Boom. Here I want the mouth closed. So what I'm going to do is copy and paste this head from here to here. And instead of a squashing, stretching this. And skew that direction from the direction it's coming from. Look at that. Bam, 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 bam. Move this apart. Awesome. 1 second. 1 second. Cool. So let's see. Boom. Ooh, bam. Cool. Bam, bam. So cool. Tuki, tuki, tuki. Tuki, tuki. Here I can even drag this a bit more so it doesn't look too symmetrical with the other ear. Awesome. We push this up. Tiny voices. Beam. The volume here is too much compared to the refrain. Boom, 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 boom. We go to this one over here. Now time to connect all of this stuff. Connect all of this stuff here, Tuki. Tiny voices. Time is it. Okay. Let's wrap up this animation. So I have to go. But hope you got something from this video. Even if my music recommendation will help in some way. Bam. There you go. So I'm not following directly here the rough pass in terms of design because I can totally achieve the same feeling by reusing a pose that I already put some time designing before. Cool. And even the amount of drag that I have here, maybe I can increase a little bit more. So we have, cool, some gaps between the colors here, Tuki. Awesome. Bam, and then bam. Cool, let's look at this. Boom. And we overshoot here. We overshoot here. Then we go back. So let's grab this frame and move it all the way towards the front. Let's move everything. Boom, 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 boom. And then Tuki. Down. And I need normal ears here with no stretch. So I can totally grab these ones over here, copy and paste and move individually back. Awesome. Cool. Yep. And then this, okay, this one will go like that. Tuki. Tuki, tuki. And then this one will flip and be something like this. Awesome. And then we go down. So we have boom, boom. Hey, it's working. Cool. Disaster. Boom, 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 boom. Ojo. Let me check this frame with the render view. I think it's a little bit destroyed. Yes. So let's polish these shapes a little bit more. It's too late. It's too late. Bro. What the heck? Everyone is texting right now. Okay, that's live telling me Henry wrap up the video is too long. To save me, to save me, to save me. So here, I feel this nose is a little bit weird. Beautiful. Now these hairs. So we have this. Flip up. Nah, it's noticeable. Cool. Tack, 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 tack. Vroom, vroom. I want more volume here. Well, first of all, they have to be. Well, on the next video, guys, we're going to talk about overlapping action, dragging. How is that I do overlapping for the pieces of my character. Same thing as I have a formula for animating. There's a formula for overlapping action and drag. So I'm going to share that with you. And yeah, I'm going to share more technical theoretical stuff in these videos and show you how we approach that and how is that I broke all of those rules too, because at the end of the day it's important to know the rules to know how to break them. And when I animate, I break all the rules in a good way, not in a bad way. So okay, let's look at this. Boom, boom. I might want this to be faster. And then this might be around here. 55, 33. Oopsie, 33. So we have this slow in, keyframe, or overshoot, and then we go to this one over here, which I can add here. I could add a slow out in between the slow in, and then go into this key, but I want it to be super fast. Oh, this is the last one. Okay, and now then I have to bring this loop backwards if I want to make this. What did I do with my rough pass? No, let's just follow the rough pass. I'll push this later. So boom. Oh, this is on twos. And then we go back. And then we go up. And then we finish going up. And then we go to the sides. Cool. Time 244. Cool. Bam, 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 bam. And bam, 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 bam. I would like to make this movement a little bit more strong. So, yeah, more animation coming. Here, this head drag a little bit more towards the front. And then move this so I follow the rough pass because I already animated the ears. And then these, now that I'm seeing this frame better, I have to move all of this towards the inside. Oopsie! All of this more towards the inside. Cool. So it feels like it's rotating. Another thing that I can do is leave a gap here in the nose, so it feels like it's moving towards the front. And you'll be like, Henry, but what the heck is happening with the ears? Yeah, no worries. I can just grab these ears, copy and paste it here. Forget about it. I'm going to show you how to do that manually later. Tuki. So we have this. Run, 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 twin, 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 twin. And I'm going to push the timing, add more RX and add more beautiful animation because I feel it's too even and just going doing the same. And I'm going to add a rig of the hand to have more flexibility in that animation. But yeah, this is how I approach rig animation. It takes time, especially when I'm talking. And I can also fix the spacing of all of this stuff. Look at this corner, at this point here at the top. Boom, boom is making an arc, and then it's jumping there, tack, tack, arc, and then poop jumps here abruptly with no reason. If the head is not moving that strongly, it's just boom jumping there. No need to do so. So I can try to just keep this one here, 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 and then move. Boom, boom. Look at that, solved by looking at the spacing of all of these things. Cool. So we have that animation, and on the next video, I'm going to finish. Hopefully, I'm going to finish all of this. I'm going to finish animation of this dude, add the arm animation, and then animate the other dude that is going to be doing something like screaming like that, and then closing the mouth with that craziness. Cool. Hope this helps, guys. And let me know if you like these videos. Comment if you have any questions. If you would like me to share something more specific to what you want to overcome as a challenge for you in animation, let me know, and I'll be happy to help. Cool. This is the process of this animation, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Otherwise, bam, dead.